When the beat drops, you know exactly what time it is. Welcome to the Blitz. I am Devin Closky, and joining me, as always, is my dude, David Schiele. Always down for the Chicago freestyle.
Always down, and we have plenty of headlines to tackle today. Baker Mayfield earning the respect of the locker room, the key defensive pieces that won't be available today, and a new segment where we say no or yo.
How about let's go and get right into things, starting with our 10 and 10, the 10 top stories you need to know ahead of today's game. At number 10, the Buccaneers take on the Chicago Bears at 1 o'clock inside Raymond James Stadium. This is the home opener for Tampa Bay. These games have not been too kind to the Bucs the past 10 years. They're 4-6 in home openers since 2013, but the Bears have lost 11 consecutive games starting back to last season, the longest active streak in the league. They've also allowed 25-plus points in all of those contests, the longest streak since 2016. At number 9, the last time these two teams met was 2 years ago. That was the day Mike Evans gave away Tom Brady's 600th touchdown ball. You remember that? There was a negotiation that went on, but that was the only negative that afternoon at Ray J. Todd Bowles' defense took advantage of a then-rookie Justin Fields. They forced 5 turnovers on the way to a 38-3 win. Now, the focus today will be on the more experienced Justin Fields, a man who has gone 5-21 in his career as a starter for the Chicago Bears. He's a threat on the ground, has more than 1,600 rushing yards, but look at this, 50-plus turnovers. That is a problem, and that is something that's going to have to be remedied, but you hope, David, it's not remedied today for the former Ohio State
with all
guy.
the turnovers, you would think, Evan, like the Bucs should blitz him all the time, right? But that's you would think so, but that's actually where Fields shines. Dating back to last season, Fields has a 105 passer rating against the blitz. That's the 7th best mark in the league. And if there's one thing we know about Todd Bowles, it's that he likes to blitz. And that was evidenced last week, charging at Kirk Cousins nearly 43% of the time, the highest rate in the league.
Yeah, you can do it against Fields, just you got to be smart, like my guy over here, James Yarko from Locked On Bucs podcast. Joining us, as always, for our burning question of the week. James, it seems like the head of the snake is Justin Fields. How does Todd Bowles and company slow him down and keep him in the pocket?
To me, it starts with the guy in the middle, Vita Vea. Kalijah Kancey's not going to be out there this week. We saw the kind of impact that he has when he's on the field in that first half against Minnesota. So now it's going to fall on Vita Vea to be the guy that can collapse the interior of the pocket very, very quickly, so that if Justin Fields does decide that he's going to try to run away from trouble, in reality, he'll run right into the arms of guys like Shaq Barrett, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Devin White, Levante David. The last time Justin Fields faced this team, he was sacked 4 times. He turned the ball over 5 times, and it was because Todd Bowles dialed up relentless, consistent pressure, but he brought it from all sorts of angles on the field. This Bucs defense showed against the Vikings that they can get after the quarterback. So the biggest thing is collapse the interior of that pocket very quickly, so that if Justin Fields does try to escape, he's running right into those guys that are coming off of the edge, not allowing him to be able to create big plays with his legs or buy himself time to create a big play with his arm.
Thank you so much, James. You know, the first ever game Justin Fields started came against the Cleveland Browns. The quarterback at that time, Baker Mayfield. He led Cleveland to a win that day, just like he did against the Minnesota Vikings in the Bucs season opener. At number 7, the former Heisman winner started slow, completed only 3 of his first 11 passes, but after settling in and picking up on the Viking signals, Mayfield completed 18 of his final 23 passes for 2 touchdowns. He finished with a passer rating of 94. He also put the team on his back, or should I say his legs. His 2 first-down runs in the fourth quarter helped the Bucs put the game away. Todd Bowles called Baker's performance gutsy and gritty. Those are just 2 of the many qualities he has shown to earn the respect of his teammates.
You know, he's stiff-arming DBs and getting in their face. Like, you're looking for that kind of competitive edge, like from your quarterback.
You know, seeing him go do that, put his shoulder down, you know, kind of gets you going a little bit. But you know, I got to go make sure he's not getting in too much trouble over there. He's just talking to people, so I got to go get him out of stuff.
Baker Mayfield was a leader on the offensive side of the ball, but Evan, defensively speaking, it's this man. Devin White set the tone. Does he want to get paid or not?
I think this man wants to get paid. If he performs like he did week 1 the rest of the season, that guy is looking at $100 million. At number 6, come on over with me to the big board, and let's look at some of these plays from Devin White. You can see him. He's getting all the signals here right under center. And his pursuit. Now, he's always had problems with over-pursuing, and it gets him lost sometimes in these play-action fakes. But watch Devin play action. He is on T.J. Hawkinson right there for a big tackle for a loss. That's huge consistency, improvement, fighting through tackles, getting the runner down. Again, that's what he needs to do. He doesn't have to be Superman. Make the plays you're supposed to make. And this weekend, tonight, against Chicago, when Justin Fields comes across the middle of the field, put him down. That is impressive stuff. And that's exactly what Devin White needs to continue to do to remain successful and get paid next offseason.
At number 5, let's show the defense some more love. They forced 3 turnovers against Minnesota in Week 1. The Vikings gave Tampa Bay a gift on a fumble by Kirk Cousins near the red zone, but Antoine Winfield Jr. had a straight-up theft with a strip sack. That led to points. And how about the undrafted rookie, Christian Izien? A huge interception at the goal line with the Vikings threatening to score. Evan, the goal for this unit is 30 takeaways this season. They are well on their way to reaching that.
Look, 3 times 17 sounds like they're well on their way to a franchise record.
Yeah.
At number 4, we're debuting a new segment on the Blitz called No or Yo. Week 1 often creates a lot of hyperbolic behaviors, so we want to ask ourselves if we're not buying it or...
Yo, this might be a thing. The first topic, Evan, is the rushing attack. Only 2.2 yards per carry. Do you think people should calm down about the rushing attack?
No, that Dave Canales says they went north of 50% in run efficiency, but that is a no for me, Doug. I'm not here to tell you that I think that Rachaad White stinks or anything. Give that dude some time. But until the Bucs show us they can get north of 1 bills consistently, I am not buying this rushing attack.
And I agree with you. I'm not sold that the rushing attack has made a giant leap since last year. Rachaad White has just a singular game of 100-plus rushing yards. I think Baker Mayfield adds a nice dynamic to the running game, but I need to see more to really buy into it.
All right, second question. Baker Mayfield, no or no?
That's simple right there. What he did in Week 1, definitely worth a yo, because my man's put the team on his back in the fourth quarter. And I also tip my cap to him because he didn't try to force anything after the slow start. Let the game come to him, took what the defense gave him. Most importantly, he protected the football.
Yo, forget about the gutsy and gritty stuff. That is important, but that's not why I'm jumping on the bandwagon. He's fully committed to this offense. We talked about all offseason his propensity to turn the ball over. We talked about it with Justin Fields. He remained conservative when the game got ugly. He stayed patient instead of trying to be Superman. Baker just has to be good. Game manager, and I believe in him when he's doing that.
All right, Evan, we got one more. Todd Bowles has turned a corner coaching. Is that a yo or no?
Yo, I'm on this one too. Going on it for 4th and 1 from your own 32-yard line. Yo, dialing up these blitzes at a high clip. He's always done that. So, yo, going out in the offseason and making a kicker a priority so you can expand your decision making. Yo. Still need to see how he utilizes timeouts in the future, but I'm in.
It's always been a yo for me with Todd Bowles. The players love him. He's a defensive genius, and last year was totally unfair. You can't name a head coach in March and then place him on the hot seat because you didn't get the results that you wanted in the end. His staff is in place. His guys are on the field. Yo, show Todd Bowles some respect.
I'm in on that. Good stuff, good stuff. And number 3, the guy who tacks on 3. The days of Ryan Suckup are over, and there's a booming leg in town. Chase McLaughlin nailed a 57-yard field goal to essentially win the game for Tampa Bay last week. That was the 5th longest kick in Buccaneers history, the longest since Matt Gay in 2019.
Sideline comes in at number 2. We're taking a look at the injury report. The defense is going to be thin today. Carlton Davis, Kalijah Kancey, and Servassier Dennis are out. Davis and Kancey did not practice at all this week. Christian Izien is questionable. You do see Baker Mayfield on there. Don't worry about that. He's going to play, but the Bucs did note a shoulder injury this week. And speaking of injuries, at number 1, the turf versus grass debate is popping up again after Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles on Monday night, thus ending his season. Luckily, in Ray J, the Bucs play on grass, but in 15 stadiums, turf is still the answer. That's 50% of the league. Baker Mayfield had thoughts on this.
Grass is more forgiving. It's just plain and simple. Your cleats give out a little bit. It's just it's easier on your body. There's a difference when guys practice on turf, and this is league-wide. Anywhere I've been, anybody I've ever been around, if you practice on turf the next day, your big guys are sore. Their knees are sore, ankles are sore. It's just harder on your joints.
It's a new regime in New York, which is an old regime, by the way, and Zach Wilson. You can watch the Jets-Cowboys right here on 10 Tampa Bay at 4:25. But first, Kansas City heads to the great state of Florida to play Jacksonville at 1 o'clock. That game is also right here on CBS. Let's check out our Blitz picks record. And would you look at that, David? I picked the Bucs to win. You picked the Bucs to lose. I'm 1-0. You're 0-1. That's a story we like to see. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go with the Bucs once again. But I'll say this. I think it's going to be an ugly game. With Carlton Davis gone, the secondary is in deep trouble, especially with Zion McCollum stepping up here. He's had some serious issues in the past. So get ready for a bumpy ride, but I'll say the Buccaneers 24-23.
I think I've learned my lesson, so I'm going to go with the Bucs today. I respect Justin Fields. I think he's incredibly talented. He's a dear, dear friend. But Chicago is not a good team. I got the Bucs winning 24-9.
Well, that is another episode of the Blitz in the books for you. Remember, the Bucs home opener kicks off at 1 o'clock next week. Tampa Bay plays on Monday Night Football, but we'll be here the same time, same place, same energy. Thank you for joining us on the Blitz right here on 10 Tampa Bay. More Bright Side coming up after the break.